as you can see, this is a very full cabinet. So we're going to go through it today and kind of clear out everything from the 2025 school year and put everything in order for the 2026 school year. So you're going to see what items we used for my daughter. We did homeschool preschool this year, however, we did kindergarten math and a lot of kindergarten readiness things. So you'll see a lot of that with what we wrapped up this year, and then you'll see what we're going to be using for kindergarten / first grade math next year. But if you are new here, my name is Hayley, and hello. I guess I can officially now say I'm a homeschool mom, which feels crazy. I feel like even though that was something that I was doing, I didn't use it as like a title of mine. But I can now officially say that because we're diving in officially for kindergarten, which is crazy. I also share really simple, easy activities, learning-based activities, not messy activities. So if you are into that and you need ways to minimize screen time and entertain your children, I have you covered. Check out my Instagram. There's also some really great videos on this channel as well. But let's dive right in. We have a lot to cover. So this is our homeschool cabinet. I feel like I'm probably gonna need a bigger space eventually, but for now, everything kind of fits in here nicely. I've already taken out some of this stuff. So we had my planner. This was just a normal planner that I was using, that I wrote down what we did each day. So I took that out. She finished her Kickstart to Kindergarten workbook. This is Handwriting Without Tears. We finished her kindergarten math with confidence, which honestly was such a milestone. I just couldn't believe we actually finished this book. We started actually last May, which is such a random time to start a new school year or whatever. But I kind of just did it because she was really interested in math and she was showing signs of readiness. And I was kind of like, you know what, we'll get this. And if it just seems way too over her head, clearly we'll stop or we'll slow down. I wasn't putting a time frame on it. And I didn't go in saying, oh, we're going to be done by next May. No, but here we are, and she did finish it. There were weeks where we did multiple lessons. There were weeks where we did one lesson. We kept it very, very chill this year, but she had a lot of fun, and I'm so proud of her and her finishing this. If you haven't seen Math with Confidence, I love how colorful the worksheets are. They're really, really fun and it keeps them engaged. And I'm excited to continue with first grade Math with Confidence. This workbook we've actually had for a few years. It's just a learn to write workbook and it's full. So we're gonna rotate that out. Here's my teacher's guide for Math with Confidence. We're gonna save things like this to probably use with my son one day. So I need to figure out storage for that. Things I wanna keep of hers, whether it's like a teacher's workbook or what, I need to figure out a good way to store that. So if anybody has any tips or suggestions, let me know because I know it can add up quickly. We also did earlier in the year, playing preschool. We didn't stick with it unit by unit by any means, but it was fun to give us a little bit of structure because again, I think that I was overthinking things and not feeling like I knew what I was doing when it came to homeschooling. But I think I've realized that homeschool really is what you make it and everybody does it differently and there's no right or wrong way to do it and every kid learns differently. But it was great to give us a theme for the week and the poem and the song were really fun. We definitely did not do all the activities, especially the messy play activities. And some of the activities we actually already do through our normal type of play that we do. But we completed every unit, every topic, and that was really fun for them. So we did that with my son, who is now 3, and then my daughter, who is now 5. So when we started this, they were 2 and 4. What I like about homeschooling, which you'll see again later in the video, is the group family style learning. My son, even though he's 3, we're not going to do too much with him, but he learns because he's around my daughter and he hears her and he sees us doing school and he's interested. And I think there's such a benefit to that. These are just some worksheets that I need to compile. Here's different flashcards and Yodo cards. We're going to keep those in. I want to get back on the morning menu train. Here are the morning menus that we have used last year. We had some language arts, letter matching ones, some writing word ones, and then we also had, hi, my name is Milo. Trace your name, write your name, find the letters in your name. This is for my 3-year-old. We were working on colors, working on shapes. I think this will be great to bring back out with him because he was a little young when we were starting to do this. Matching the colors, line tracing. This year I'm really going to focus on tracing and cutting. For my daughters, the same intro page as his, more name ones, and then also days of the week I had on her menu. And we have also a math menu. I want to start doing menus again. I don't think it needs to be every single day, but it's a good way to get them seated and started on school. Another thing is our daily coloring sheets, which have been such a staple in our house for years at this point. Whether they focus on the letter and the words on that page start with that letter, or if it's a theme like an emotion or a holiday or a month or a type of animal, things like that. So we do that, and that kind of is like a menu, but I think this will be a good pairing thing with that. I'm going to keep in here all of the Love Every Reading Kit things. I do need to organize this a little bit better. I have the Reading Kit 1 and Reading Kit 2. I think there's 3 parts. So I don't have part 3 yet, but it's also been so weird because my daughter, who's 5, is now in part 2. We're slowly moving through it because now she's jumping into things, but my son is starting Reading Kit 1, which is weird that I have now another kid doing it. Time just moves too quick. But I'm going to reorganize this, keep all of the Reading Kit stuff in there. These are some books from it. We also have a bunch of flashcards and decodable books from Toddlers Can Read. I really like that resource as well. So I'm going to keep all of that in here, and all of our like math tools. I'm going to keep, I have some counting beads that we made, some tally flashcards, some number popsicle sticks that we were using as a game, things like that I'm keeping. So again, I don't have a lot of room in here, and I'm going to show you all the things that I have to bring in for next year. Last year, we also had my daughter do this sand letter tracing activity. I just need to figure out how to make this not so messy, because I swear every time she would just spill sand everywhere. And I think this would be fun for my 3-year-old to start playing with, but it's just so messy. So if anybody has tips on that, let me know. I also like to always keep blank journals for learning activities that I put in here. Match the numbers. She ended up just kind of scribbling the lowercase r's, different activities, kind of keep it all in one place, and that way you're not hunting for paper all the time. I also love just having some blank dry erase boards, more handwriting practice books we're going to keep in here too. These are the things that worked really well for our preschool, homeschool / kindergarten math stuff. It's not much. I mean, I know it can kind of look like a lot, but honestly, it isn't much, and it's going to stick with us. As you can see, I really only took out a couple things. A lot of these resources I'm going to continue to use, and I'm excited to see how next year goes, because I feel like I'm really diving in officially. But that is our wrap-up of our year. We finished Math with Confidence. We finished Painting Your Tears. The big thing right now for her is writing online. She knows how to write her letters, but she needs to learn how to write them correctly and with the right spacing and all of that. I feel like this video is actually getting pretty long, so I think I'm going to cut it in 2. So make sure you are subscribed and following along, because the next part is going to be what we are doing and adding for first grade and for preschool for my son. It feels weird to even say this out loud, that I'm a homeschool mom and my kids are 3 and 5, that they're learning like this, but thank you so much, and I hope you enjoy just taking a peek into the real life scenario of homeschooling your preschooler or kindergartner could look like.